Welcome to another episode of The Platform. Really fun to feature Alexander Leon, who sent me a message after we had Steve Balby on the show. You know, if you haven't seen Steve's interview, you've got to check it out. It's just absolutely epic. And I got a message from Alexander after it telling me a little bit about his story and dealing with MS and now coming back and playing some music. It's absolutely inspiring. He's a great guy and great fun to catch up with him on Skype, and here he is. Well, look, it's great to have you on the show, Alexander. You sent me a pretty powerful email after you saw the Steve Balby interview, and you know, music. You used to play with Steve, right?
Yeah, I used to play with him in a band called Universe, which is after the Electric Hippies.
Yeah.
Played for quite some time. I always think of Steve as the most accomplished musician I've ever played with. I love Steve's songs.
Yeah, he's incredible, isn't he?
Mm.
So tell us about your story, man. Like, tell us about music in your life.
All right, I can tell you where it started. I come from a musical family. My father was a great pianist. My brother is really great guitarist. And at Rose Bay School, when I was probably 10 years old, I played with my brother in a school band. I remember us playing The House Rising Sun, and what's the other song? She wore black and I wore white. I always let her win the fight. Bang, 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 bang. That's and so that's where it sort of started. And I wrote my first song when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
But this is where the rub is. My brother and my father made fun of my song. And I never wrote another song until I was probably 26.
Wow.
You know? Big impact, you know, which shows you probably children's egos are so delicate, yeah. You can't burst their bubble, you know. But it is what it is. And then this is great story, actually. When I was 26, I was going out with a girl who left me for a cocaine dealer who lived in Hawaii. And he was a Filipino guy who I actually met for another girlfriend many years before. But so they go to Hawaii, and I was living with her in Vaucluse. So I get a phone call saying she's in Hawaii, and could I please get myself out of the unit?
Wow.
Yeah, big one. So I go to the unit to get myself out, and he's left a conga drum in the unit. And I'm just in awe of this conga drum. I was born in Cuba, yeah? So it's probably in my blood. I probably heard congas as a child. And I was just mesmerized by this conga drum. I knew they were in Hawaii for a couple of months, so I borrowed it. Soon I was, playing gigs and stuff. And my first real gig was at Selena's with Renegade.
Wow.
Which was just, it's really funny because I used to say to all my friends and my girlfriend, I want my first gig to be with Renegade, And it was like a dream of mine. And bingo, it happened. I'm a strong believer that your thoughts and your words create your reality. Yeah?
Definitely, man. We manifest.
Yeah, and I definitely manifested that one. So then I met this girl called Karen Minshall, who was probably Australia's top session singer. Like all the ads, you can Google her actually. In all the ads from Preen to whatever, you hear her voice. And we formed a band called Not Picasso with her and her brother, who was a guitar player, and I was playing percussion. And actually, there's a really good YouTube video of our band on the Don Lane Show on YouTube.
He's a treasure, my baby, and he makes the rules. He's a pleasure, my baby, and he knows I ain't no fool. 'Cause when I'm with him, I'm happy. We don't feel the time. If you see him, then maybe you'll understand why I wanna make him mine. 'Cause he's mine, he's my love, he's my baby. He's mine, he's my love, he's my baby.
Then in 2004, I was diagnosed with MS, and slowly, all my abilities to play guitar, play percussion, play anything actually, started to diminish. First my legs went, and then my left hand doesn't work, and my right hand only partially works. So I went to before in 2014. All the way through this, I'd been I had a little studio at home, and I'd been recording music, and I was always procrastinating about my music. Playing it. The voice isn't good enough. The guitar playing isn't good enough, and always procrastinating to put out a CD and never really doing it. And I found during the time that I was putting a lot of melodies on top of my voice, be they keyboard or guitar, to try and disguise my voice, because I thought it's not good enough. And then I went to India to have a treatment called HSTC, which stands for Hemopathic Stem Cell Transplant. And the idea of that, it stops the progression of MS, but doesn't do anything for the disabilities you might already have. And so that's the first time I went into a wheelchair. And because what the treatment is basically they give you chemotherapy to totally wipe out your immune system.
Wow.
As MSSA is an autoimmune problem, which wipes out the MS as well in the immune system, and you reboot it. So the chemotherapy is really heavy. And so I came back home, and I was sort of, on my wheelchair around my unit, not knowing what to do. And I thought, I hadn't revisited my music for a year and a half or something. And I thought, I'll go back to my studio and I'll just play around my music. My hands still working enough to play a computer or whatever.
Can I ask you about the song Little Man? Because I love that video. I love how you've put the kids in there singing with you. It's something really pure and beautiful about that.
Mm-hmm. Little Man came from, funny, it's a funny story actually. Little Man came from, I was buying a car from this Chinese guy, right? Yeah, it's funny when he is. And he told me it was a 94, a Toyota Land Cruiser. He told me it was a 94 model, and I gave him a deposit, blah, blah, blah. And then I looked into the serial number, and it turned out to be a 92 model, I don't like being ripped off. I don't like people taking advantage of people. So anyway, I got my money back, And then I went home, and I obviously couldn't write a song about a little Chinese man who ripped me off with a car, or tried to rip me off a car. So I guess I transposed it into, the first words were little man, and then I was thinking, well, I can't write about him. So I thought about all the bad things that people do with their little minds, and then the next thought was, I think I had the first verse, little man, lay that gun down in your hand. Little minds, leave your greed and hate behind. I thought, these are great lessons for children to learn, So that's where the children's choir came into it. And we went to a school that, the children in the video, because that's years later, aren't actually the children singing it. I went to a school and recorded it, and then I had my own child, and I had another friend, Bernie, who's a really good artist, worked with Lady Gaga and really big bands, and he wanted to film the video, and he had the idea of me being on the screen and the children in front repeating. And yeah, that's where I love that video too.
Little man, lay that gun down in your hand. Little minds, leave your greed and hate behind. Little guy, take a look inside and cry for your brothers that have laid down to die.
It's a great idea, man. It's a great song. What about the song "Complicated World"? I love the effects of you being on the screen, which is kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody like. But very cool to see.
That's where I got it from, actually.
Really?
That's what I was thinking when I did. I do all the. You can see the green screen behind me.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's where I did it. In 2015, I lived in Bali. I got married there with my wife in a Buddhist ceremony. Actually, it was really nice. But and of course, I was on my wheelchair and really bored with something artistic. I had to do something, and a friend loaned me a version of Final Cut Pro, and I taught myself how to use Final Cut Pro, pretty much like recording, just cut and paste, So I started doing my own videos, and Complicated World, another song that I wrote with Ivan. He wrote the chorus, I wrote the music and the verse, and then I was filming that video, and it was accidental. I had a black shirt on, and I was playing Final Cut Pro, and it was in front of the green screen, and I changed the green to black, and bingo, just my head was showing.
Wow.
And I love that idea. And then I was thinking Bohemian Rhapsody, how the guys in front, the four faces, and I thought, yeah, for me in front, and that's complicated world, and
So complicated. I don't know what to say about what's been going on. Don't know how, don't know when, don't know why it went wrong. I can see it in your eyes, I can feel it in your vibe. The spark that once was there is someone unalive. The only thing that's clear to see is it's a complicated world for you and me. It's a complicated world that we live in. It's a complicated life, don't you give in. I told you once, I'll tell you again, my friend. It's a complicated world that we live in.
Do you mind, Alexander, if I ask you about the message you sent me? It was pretty powerful how you'd sort of been feeling you were, I guess, hiding away and coming to terms with being in a wheelchair and now wanting to express yourself. What were those moments like? Like, even writing that email to me, what was going on?
look, I'm still the the process of acceptance, which I think is, that's one of the things I'm still learning. Yeah, one of the things that being in a wheelchair, losing, it even goes beyond playing music. I used to swim across Bondi every day. If I could swim one stroke, I'd be lucky. These days, I just had another baby 5.5 months ago. I haven't been able to pick her up and hold her, hug her, burp her, do all the things, change the nappy, do all those things. So, it's I'm sure to my dying day, I'm still going to be learning acceptance. Yeah, it's a really long process. And saying that also, as I wrote to you, accepting is not accepting this how I'm going to be forever. It's just accepting this how I am right now. As I said to you, I do believe that your thoughts and your words govern your reality. And my conscious mind is to walk again, to play again, to sing again, to do all these things again. I believe there's something in my subconscious mind holding me back. And I've just devised a new method. I'm recording everything that I want to do on a digital recorder and playing it to myself when I sleep.
Oh wow!
And I just came across this the other day. I thought maybe that's the way to get it to my subconscious mind. Yeah. So I'm in the process of doing that now, and I think it has already helped. I've only been doing it for a week. I think it already has helped because I've got a lot more energy. A few signs here and there that something's improving. So
is that like a big thing for you? Like in your life, you have energy in the morning and then you run out and.
Yeah, it's definitely it's an MS thing. Fatigue, also heat sensitivity, because you lose the ability to equalize your heat in the body. So you get really cold, you get really hot.
Right.
But heat sensitivity, especially in Australia, because it's a hot place, is a big one. Yeah.
Well, mate, another song I'd love to ask you about is the song Mother, because the video clip you've put together is really beautiful, the story of your life, really, with your brother and your mother. The pictures that must have been pretty emotional for you to make that.
Man, you know, my brother, I don't know if you recognise him
I
in
did
the
recognise him. Where have I seen him before? I think I've met him.
George Smilovich. George Smilovich, a comedian.
Okay, there you go.
So he wrote with Mark Winters again, the guy who introduced me to the piano player. Mark is an anthropologist, so he's really in tune with people. Yeah, he's known George from high school days. So they wrote the story about my father's hands, which was, I think, by far the best thing George had ever done. Yeah, it was a one-man show.
Right.
When they were writing that, George said to me he was crying every day. It was such a cathartic experience.
Yeah.
And my parents had a lot of photo albums, so I started thinking, well, the song's Mother. I wrote it a few years after she had passed away. And I should go from the childhood to the very end. The very end is a photo of what I believe, I might be wrong, but what I believe was my mother when she had given up already,
Right.
She had a hard time and she had given up, and you see the sadness in her eyes.
I'm over here, brother. Come sit for a while with me. Let's talk about mother. Remember her smile. Remember her smile. When you think of her, when you think of the way she loved, do you dream of her? She comes to me in memory. Yeah. She comes to me in deed. Both said and done. Even through my darkness, she leads me through the shadow. I'm not alone. When I think of her, when I think of the way she loved, then I dream of her. She is my angel from above.
You've told a
And
great story in there visually. It's really actually really incredible to watch. Um,
yeah,
what's you've obviously deal with a lot of things, like learning acceptance, like you say, and learning a new life from where you were. What's the key things you've learnt about yourself?
that's a difficult question. I think I'm so an idiot. I don't think I've learned anything. One key thing, being idealistic, like I would like to be. I've learned, that's probably it. I've learned I am not completely what I'd like to be. What I believe is, honourable. Let me get rid of something on my phone. What I believe is honourable, or, but I guess, the two really important things that I think is acceptance and expectations. I think we only are disappointed because we're expecting a different outcome. And it'd be great, it would be ideally great not to have any expectations and to accept, roll with the punches, like a good boxer does.
Yeah. Well, I think the great thing is that you're still creating music, because the great music always comes from the heart, and you can, as long as you're sharing that, that's what people get. I think that's what I felt when I listened to your music. I was like, this is created from your heart, and it's great to watch.
That's the message I want to get across. So I'm really glad you said that, And also, I think, as I have 2 children now, the world is nowhere near as good as it was when I was a child. Just the other day, I'm living at the moment at my sister-in-law's house in Asquith, and it's funny because I don't like the suburbs at all. It's not in the city, it's not in the country, but like the other day, I was sitting on the front veranda looking out, and I saw a butterfly that I hadn't seen, because I grew up in these suburbs, haven't seen in 20 years probably.
Yeah.
It got me so excited that it's still happening, There's places where these suburbs might be built out, Sydney might be built out, but nature is, it can survive if we humans don't destroy it at the rate we're going.
Well, listen, man. How do people find you if they want to check out your stuff? Have you got a website, or how do we find you on social media?
My website is www.alexanderleons, ALEXANDRLEONS, alexanderleonsmusic.com.
Awesome, man. Well, great to speak with you. I really appreciate it, and look forward to hearing more of your music.
Cool, man. Nice to meet you.
Yes, there you go. Super fun to feature Alexander. Absolutely inspiring, and a lot of things we take for granted, like our health, and chasing our dreams and doing the things we love. So it was great to catch up with him and have a chat. We'll see you next time on the platform.